Wow. That guy was pretty good, huh? I have to say, first of all, though, is we do have to just like put Angie Cross in front of me there, because she looks way better than I do. Oh my goodness. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you guys for letting me speak to you this fine morning. I'd like to recognize my Heavenly Father for giving me the talent to be here. My own family for being here. And then where's my team out there? Where's that team from LA and Hawaii out there? You know, a little bit about myself and my story with Yoli. This was about a year ago. I'm sitting in my office and this guy by the name of Eugene Hong calls me up and he says, I got a packet of this product that you should be using in your office. And I said, absolutely, bring it by. So he brought it by my office and it's this bag of alkali. So it's sitting on my desk. I have no idea what to do with it. I'm reading it and it says it neutralizes acidity. I was like, all right. Just so happened I get a patient that calls me. And he's crying on the phone and he says, Doc, I've been suffering with gout for the last 3 months. Nothing's been helping me. Every single medication, every single painkiller, nothing's been helping me. So I said, come on in, let's check you out. I may have something for you. So I give him this bag of alkali. I said, this, you have uric acid. This is an alkaline supplement. It'll help neutralize the acidity. And he says, all right, I'll take it. He goes, how much do I take? And I said, I have no idea, take the whole bag. So he's like, I'll do anything at this point. So he goes home, he takes the entire bag in like 2.5 days. Calls me up about 2.5 days later, and he's crying on the phone. And I'm prepared like, oh my gosh, I furthered him, I'm about to kill him. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say to Eugene. And then he stops crying, and he goes, for the first time in 3 months, I'm pain-free. And then I said, absolutely, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. And I said, if you tell 3 more friends, you can get that for free. I have a few patients that actually joined us here at our conference, and I have my family here. I have a bunch of friends that are here, and you guys have a bunch of friends that you guys have shared the transformation with. And guys, I looked at those graphs yesterday, and I look at all of you here. Like last year, it was like speaking to this half of the room. This year, it's just off the charts. I mean, the things that we're doing, and all that means to me is that we're transforming more lives. And we're saving more lives, guys. That's what we're doing here, okay? So I want to start with this. Hippocrates was the father of modern-day medicine. He's the one that actually put all of what we consider modern-day medicine together. And it's interesting what he states. Look at what he says there. He says, the natural healing force within each of us is the greatest force in getting well. He didn't say a scalpel. He didn't say a pill in a bottle was the greatest force. He says the natural ability of your own body's healing capabilities is the greatest thing. And that's what we're doing, guys, is we're removing all the things that doesn't need to be there so that the body can heal itself. Thomas Edison, spectacular thing that he said. He said, the doctor of the future will give no medication but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, diet, and the cause and prevention of disease. Guys, I have letters after the back of my name, but you guys are all doctors. You guys may not have the letters at the back of your name, but you know what? You guys are interesting your patients with the cause and prevention of disease, guys. You know what doctor means in Latin? Doctor means teacher. Every time you guys press play, you guys are teaching somebody. You guys are changing someone's life. Okay? So I want to start off with this. In order for us to look at how the body goes into dysfunction, we first have to learn how the body functions. Because if you don't know what's normal, you can't know what's abnormal. Okay? So every single human body needs a few things. The way I look at your human body is like a car. A car needs a few things to run. If you give it those things in a timely manner, it runs well. Your body needs nutrients. You need vitamins and minerals. Isn't it safe to say that we have vitamins and minerals now? We need enzymes, we need proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So when you look at all these fad diets out there that says low this, low that, low this, we're not giving the body what it needs. We're depriving the body. Imagine, how many of you watched Beverly Hills Cop? You guys heard of that? You remember the part where they put the banana in the tailpipe? And the car doesn't run? That's what you're doing with all these fad diets, is you're putting a banana in your tailpipe. I'm sorry, that's what's happening. Your body needs fluids. You gotta be drinking water. You gotta breathe. You know how many people don't know how to breathe? Almost 90% of the population has no idea how to breathe. When people are breathing, you see them, their shoulders are rising up. That's not how you're supposed to breathe. Your belly is actually supposed to expand. So when you're breathing, your belly button should go outwards, not inwards. You're actually decreasing your lung capacity by 40% when you're doing that. So you're not getting enough oxygen. When your body's acidic, you're not delivering enough oxygen. Okay? You need motion. You have to be moving around. If you keep your car in the garage for its entire lifetime, it won't work. I have an uncle who has a car in the garage. It's a beautiful, old car, but it doesn't run. You gotta get your car out and move it around, okay? And you also need stimulus. Stimulus comes in multiple ways. Sunshine, okay? You need mental stimulation. You need social stimulation. There was a book called The Blue Zones. And the Blue Zones looked at all the different populations around the world that had increase and longevity. And the one thing that they all had in common was they had a sense of community. They didn't have all these different other medications or whatever. They had a sense of community. They ate whole food diet. They alkalized their bodies. Isn't it safe to say that we have that in Yoli? We have a community, don't we? For me, when I'm down, there's three things I do when I'm down. I go play with my kids, I watch Duck Dynasty, and I give them my downline and upline. Right? That's what I do when I'm down. So here's what happens when the body goes in, it's using all the things. This is what happens when the body utilizes all the stuff. The cell's job is to metabolize things and make energy. That's its main purpose. Just taking in the foods that you're eating, and it's converting it into ATP. It's a big word for energy. Okay? So either the cell takes that in, makes energy, but with that, it also makes toxins. It's a natural byproduct. That's why you breathe, because you're taking in oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide. With that, as your body increases in toxicity, you start lowering the pH and you become more acidic. Do you know that when people drown, they don't drown because they take in water, and it's not a lack of oxygen. It's actually a buildup of carbon dioxide. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And we also increase in free radicals. So anybody that's ever seen a car rusting, that's what's happening to your body every time you increase in free radical damage. So you gotta be able to combat all this. And then the last thing that happens is you start to catabolize your body, meaning your body starts to break down. Now, this is normal, okay? This is a normal process, and your body actually is able to combat this. But here's what happens is, in the modern day, in the lifestyle that we lead, we can't combat this effectively. So it's kind of like every time you go in your car, you look at the check engine light and it says you're low in oil. And you go and check and you're about a quart low, but you're only putting in half a quart. Every single day you're being depleted. Every single day. Now, at the end of this, everybody has to memorize this graph. You have this graph memorized, I transfer my commission check to your account. No, I'm just joking. I'll just take Kinel's check and transfer to your account. And by the way, I didn't have Kinel dancing with me up here. What was that? Anyways, look at this chart, guys. I want you to get the basics of what this is. This is basically how your body works. You eat food which breaks down into fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. No matter what, your body will take a fat, a protein, or a carbohydrate and turn that into sugar. So all these people who are touting, like Atkins diet or whatever, and then no sugar or whatever, your body needs sugar. Your number one source of fuel for your brain is sugar, which is glucose. Unfortunately, we take in too much of the refined sugars, okay? Your body's gonna do it naturally, so you might as well just give it what it needs, okay? So it takes all those fats, proteins, carbohydrates, and is breaking it down and making energy, and it goes through a little circle called the citric acid cycle, and it goes through the mitochondria, and it goes down to the electron transport system. It takes the oxygen and goes all the way down through, creates all these different free radical damages, and at the end it creates ATP. But in order for it to get from point A to point B, you see all those little things in between where it says B1, B2, folate. In order for it to get from A to B, it needs an intermediate step. That's basically like it needs a chaperone to get to its date. Okay? Without it, it can't move on. And do you know that 80% of the United States population is under the recommended daily allowance for almost every single nutrient that we have? Now, the recommended daily allowance is what in World War II they said was the minimum amount for you to get diseases. So they looked at all these soldiers and they said these soldiers were suffering from rickets and scurvy and beriberi and all of these things. So they said, okay, what's the minimum amount so that they don't suffer from the diseases? And that's what the government says is what's your recommended daily allowance. That's just to keep you from sitting in the grave. That's basically my term. That has nothing to do with optimal cell function. Okay? So what we need is we need intermediate substrates. So vitamins and minerals are very, very important for that. Okay? So the question people always ask me is, why do I need a multi? Well, I just told it to you. 80% of the population is undernourished. So when you're undernourished, your body's going to send a signal saying, I need more food. So if you could have gotten enough nutrients from 1,200 to 1,500 calories, but you're getting 80% less, you're going to be starving, and your body's going to be craving for 4,000, 5,000 calories. Well, those are empty calories. And where does it get stored? In your gut. That's step one. Step two is it starts going to your organs, and your organs stop working. So why do I need a multi? Well, somebody said it yesterday. The soils that we are growing our foods in no longer have the nutrients. I think it was Bobby who said this. You can't just have nutrients all of a sudden get into your plant if it's not there in the soil. There was a great book, if you guys want to write this down and go out and read this book called Empty Harvest. And this book talks about what we've done to our soils. We've taken out all the nutrients from our soils. And this happened in World War II. World War II, what they had was an excess of amino nitrates, or ammonia nitrates, I'm sorry. Ammonium nitrate is, now we use that as fertilizer, but you can also use it as a bomb. Okay? Now we use it as fertilizer because it can contain three major components: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So if you buy fertilizers for your home, it has three numbers on it. That's a mixture of NPK. Unfortunately, plants need 17 different minerals for it to grow. We have improper farming methods, slash and burn. We just go in, plant all the things, and we don't never rotate our crops. We also have fake foods, guys. This is what I majored in. I majored in molecular and cell biology. I used to be able to insert genes into different organisms. I made a fruit fly glow in the dark. I thought it was cool. We have corn that has like genes from a rat or bacteria that's antibiotic resistant. And we're eating that. We're putting, and here's what happens is when you eat that, that now becomes part of your DNA. So if you guys are glowing in the dark, don't blame me. You live high-stress, fast-paced lifestyles. You're going on a diamond run. You got Eugene calling you 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah? And we live in a highly toxic world. I live in Southern California. We see the air and we smell water. You're not supposed to do that. I grew up in Hawaii and I never saw the air and I never tasted the water. But we live in a toxic world, guys, so we gotta keep ahead of the game. So here's, if anything you take away from this presentation, here is the nuts and bolts. It all starts with chronic stress. Chronic stress means something greater than 10 years. We all go through this. Chronic stress affects your first 2 organs it affects is your pancreas and your adrenals. Your body starts to crave more sugars because you need more energy when you're under stress. Okay? Your digestion starts to decrease. Okay? Your adrenals start to pump out more adrenaline. With that, your body increases in acidity. Your body will now be deprived of nutrients because you're going to be burning more. This is like putting your car in park in first gear and revving it at 10,000 RPMs. You're going to run out of gas, you're going to burn your engine out, and you're just going to demolish your engine. But your body is smart. Your body adapts. Your body adapts through all of this. Okay? Your body makes small adaptations. And this adaptation is known as disease. Diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Those are all body adaptations. But what have we done in our modern day healthcare? We've covered up those adaptations. And we've considered ourselves successful. We've given medications and we say we're winning the war against cancer. I went to the American Cancer Association website and I looked at all of their statistics and I looked at the incidence of cancer. It's always been rising for the last 40 years that they've tracked it. How can we be winning the war against cancer when the incidence is consistently going up? Because we haven't gotten to the cause. The cause isn't at the end of the stream, it's at the beginning of the stream. You got to get to the root cause of it all. Chronic stress. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't get rid of chronic stress. One of the major stresses in our life is our spouse. That's how you say it. Number 1 was getting married. Number 2 was getting divorced. And number 3 was the death of a loved one. So either way, we're always going to be stressed. So we always got to, what I'm trying to stress here is, you're always going to be stressed. Okay? You're always going to be stressed. So let's take a look at the Better Body vitamins. Amazing, guys, amazing. I've seen multivitamins, every single company. I get companies that come to my office every single day. And they always want to pitch me. And there's a couple things that I always ask from them. 1, what's in your products? What's the formulation? And guys, I will not offer anything to my patients that I wouldn't first take myself and risk my reputation on. I would never do that. I don't care, if I'm getting 25 PV for it. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's somebody's life. Not necessarily somebody's health, but it's their life. So we have huge amounts of B vitamins. The B vitamins are going to help your body with that adrenal part. It's going to help your body to combat that stress. Anybody suffers from pain syndromes, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, all of those, what I call crap diagnoses. It'll affect hormones. How many women have hormonal imbalances? You should all raise your hands. The funny thing is that every single male has the same imbalance. Exactly. Because it starts from stress. The other parts are we're loaded with antioxidants, so we're combating the free radical damage. We're supporting, the anti-aging movement. You're supporting your immune system, tissue integrity, your heart, your gastrointestinal system. Vitamin D, guys. Vitamin D is huge. When you go out in the sun, your body naturally makes vitamin D. You make about 10,000 IUs of vitamin D from the sun. But you know what happens? Most people are getting adequate sunlight, but they have low levels of vitamin D because of 2 things. They have a toxic kidney and they have a toxic liver. The vitamin D is activated in your skin, goes to your liver to get activated, and finally goes to your kidney to get activated. But if you have a toxic organ, it won't work. So here what we're doing is we're giving your body the active ingredients. We're not giving you step 2 or step 1. We're giving your body the vitamins and minerals at its active state. So your body doesn't have to stress about making the next step. Okay? Minerals. In my practice, I highly stress on minerals. Now, when we look at the minerals, guys, I don't want you guys to get confused that you can stop taking alkali. Okay? Just because you say, oh, there's minerals in alkali, there's minerals here, I'm just going to take one or the other. It doesn't work that way. The minerals in alkali is to alkalize your body. The minerals in the minerals is to restore and replenish all the mineral reserves. Okay? So it works hand in hand. Chromium, great for blood sugar balances. Zinc, great for your immunity. And a really important one is iodine, which is great for your thyroid. Plus, it protects your body from radiation. And right now, you got the whole thing from Fukushima. The radiation coming from there, you got to be able to protect your body from that. So here, let's get back to this. Chronic stress affecting your pancreas, you're balancing your blood sugar up. So is it safe to say that the Better Body System does that for you? Is it safe to say that Pure helps out your gastrointestinal system?
Oh yeah.
The better body vitamins are affecting your adrenal glands. The alkali is helping your body with acidity. Nutrient depletion being fulfilled by the vitamins and minerals. Plus, fun. You got body adaptation with free radical damage that you need help with truth. So people ask me this, Doc, when do I get off of the system? Or when do I get off the products? I says, just when you want to die. Every single day for the rest of your life. And I'm sorry if you guys are living to 100 or 120. That just means you guys got to build your business more because Social Security is not going to take care of it. Last couple things. This is something everybody can do to help them out with the Better Body Vitamins and seeing where you stand. Just real simple things. So everybody could get up. I want you to try this test. I want you to stand on one leg. Okay? You're going to stand on one leg. I want you guys to count. See if you can stand on it between 10 to 12 seconds. You're going to see some people where they initially go like this and they like fall immediately to their side. Anybody that does that is a vitamin B12 deficiency. Anybody that can't do that. Now what you want to do is actually on your chest bone, your sternum, rub on your sternum. And if it's really tender to your touch, that's a really high indicative sign of vitamin D deficiency. If you rub your chest on the sternum, and it's tender to, you gotta rub firmly. You can't just like touch it or rub it. Just firmly rub it. If it's tender, it's a vitamin D deficiency. Crazy, huh? So your body is telling you exactly what it needs. One last one. One last one. You have dry, cracked heels and you look like this. Something's wrong. And it's not a deficiency in the pet egg. For those of you who have that thing. That's a sign of an iodine deficiency. Iodine and selenium. So you had, friends, dry, cracked heels, thinning hair, loss of the lateral 1/3 of your eyebrow. That's a sign of a selenium and iodine deficiency. They're suffering from thyroid issues. And the last one is if you look at a person's tongue and it doesn't look like a real tongue, it looks like plastic, it's like smooth, like really red. That's a sign of a significant B vitamin deficiency. So these are some ways where you can, when you're sitting at a party, do these Now, I know I'm going to get like 1,000 questions, like, and I'll just answer them here. The question is, I got this already. Can you use the Better Body Vitamins with the Transformation Kit? Absolutely. Absolutely. Second one is, somebody asked me is, can I use the Better Body Vitamins if I'm pregnant? Absolutely. Yes. By the way, most prenatals out there are very toxic. So if you want a crazy baby, take the prenatals. I think my mom took the prenatals. I'm kidding. How did I do that? One last one. So, for those of you who are already connected with me, or those of you who are not, that's where you can find me. Ask me a bunch of questions. I love you guys' questions. Keeps me up till late at night, keeps me fired up, and I love having you guys. Thanks for being amazing. Aloha.